Perfect. Hello and welcome to another live event with Crazy Women Country. I'm Paula, and today I will be chatting with Erin McAndrew. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How are you? Thanks so much for having me back on.
Oh, no worries, no worries. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining me. This is good. This is
Yes.
good. So we originally spoke back in 2020 when Crazy Women Country was very, very fresh and very, very new. So we thought we'd catch up and see what you've been doing since then, and just see how things are going, basically.
Yeah. So I think I was part of your Christmas show back in December, but there wasn't as much of a interview aspect, I don't think, at that point. So I think our last interview was fall of last year or summer of last year?
Things are probably near the end of the year. I
Okay.
should put the date somewhere, but yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I know it's been a while. But a lot has changed since then. I was living in California back at our last interview, and now I live back on the East Coast. So, made a cross country move since we last spoke. So I moved from Los Angeles to right outside Philadelphia back in November. So it was kind of a family move. We wanted to be closer to our family and our friends again. Most of them are located here, and this is where we're originally from. So that was obviously huge. And I started gigging again. So that's huge because I really was not gigging much for obvious reasons last year. So it's really great to be back in the swing of things again. And I was pretty much able to start booking almost as soon as I got here, which was great. Just because I've had experience for a while and built up a rapport. But what's really nice too is the places I've been playing recently, since it's a little bit more, I would say more like community, like hyper local. I am starting to get like a little bit of a following too, which is great. Because that didn't really happen when I was in Los Angeles because it's so competitive and there's always things to do. And this is a little bit more suburban. So that's been a really nice, refreshing change for sure. So that's a little bit of what I've been up to as far as that goes. Obviously that was a big move. But now we're kind of feeling like we're in the groove of things and whatnot. So.
Perfect. And how is motherhood? Because obviously when we first interviewed, I don't think you'd long had a little man. So
Yes.
how's it going there?
It's going good. We're having, to all the other mothers out there, you know how hard it is when you have a really tough like teething week. Like he has some teeth coming in on the bottom, and it's been challenging this week. But it's a wonderful, beautiful thing. It's amazing to see him grow and learn new things every day. And he is walking now, so he's like wanting to get into everything, and he's developing his little personality, and he's starting to say little things here and there. So it's really fun. I feel like every mother says it's one of the most challenging, tough jobs you'll ever have, but also very rewarding. And it's so true. And every phase it has its beautiful moments and its challenging moments. So it's definitely been a balance, especially having a music career as well. But now that he's like a lot more consistent, and he's a little bit more independent, I've been able to, obviously take the time to be able to gig, and when he's napping, take time to work on my business side of my music career. So that's been good too.
That's perfect.
Thank you.
So tell us about the business side. I know you've been doing a lot of things there and everything else. What does that entail? So, people.
Yeah. So, I mean, one of the things that I love about being a musician nowadays is that there are so many different facets of your music career that you can have. You don't have to just record music and perform. What I love is that there are a lot of different avenues that I've taken. So, obviously gigging is my main source of income, but then I've also been doing session work for songwriters and other musicians that are looking for someone to sing for their, like a song they wrote and singing to a backing track. So that's been something I've been working on a lot lately. I've been finally starting to write more lately. So that's really good. And then, yeah, I mean, the business side, it's really just kind of finding these other streams of income that you can create with your music and, really kind of going for it. So, obviously I have money that I make from my actual music itself too, but I think it's great to have other sources as well and be able to express yourself and like extend yourself in other creative ways that can make you other, monetary gains, right?
Yeah, definitely, because it's not exactly the easiest world. So you need to be able
Correct.
to have your hand in as many pies as you possibly can to keep bringing money in. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think in our interview we did the quick fire questions, but we've got 6 here. Yeah, 6,
Okay.
which we never asked you. These are brand new ones, and they are so much fun. So we thought we'll test you guys on these and see what your answers are. So that'd be fun. Okay, so what sitcom family would you be a member of?
Oh my gosh. Well, I don't know because it's I grew up watching Full House and I always loved Full House. So I'm gonna go with Full House because it's one of those shows I just grew up on and loved the show so much. And it was a fun family. It seemed like a fun family to be a part of. So that would be my answer. Yeah. For all the millennials watching.
I love that. Okay, so what's the weirdest, sweetest or strangest thing a fan has ever done for you?
I had a fan a while ago that he would take pictures that I posted on Twitter and he would put them into like these, I don't even know what to call them. Like he would put my face on a billboard on like a city street, like Photoshop my picture into different places. And some of them were really, really interesting. And it's like, I never asked him to do this. But it was just something that he did. And they were always really, really cool pictures. And like, there were some interesting choices, obviously, as well. But I would say that was definitely like the most interesting one for sure. Yeah.
I love that. So you get to see what your face looks like on the billboard.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. Obviously Photoshop can do wonders. Because obviously my picture has never been on a billboard. Maybe someday, but
billboard, yeah.
Exactly.
That'd be awesome. Okay. If you could add someone to Mount Rushmore, who would it be and why?
Oh wow. That's a hard question.
Everybody seems to struggle with this. And it can be
Yeah.
anyone. It doesn't have to be political, it can just be anyone who you think.
Well, yeah, because it's almost like you feel like it should be political because they're all presidents. I don't know if I have an answer for you for that one.
Yeah, there's been some really, really, really great answers like Dolly Parton or Shania Twain.
I mean, I love Dolly Parton. I think she's such a class act. I feel like I mean, that maybe that's taking the easy way out, but she's one of those people that has done so much for the world, so much for children, and whatnot, where I feel like she doesn't always get the recognition she deserves. And she's also very humble about it. Like I don't know if you know, but do you know about her imagination library that she has? Yeah. I mean, it's just so many things like that she does. So yeah, I mean, I know that's taking the easy way out, but I would agree with whoever said Dolly Parton.
Yeah, I think she deserves it. I think we could just put her on her own mountain.
Yes, exactly.
But yeah, okay. What's the best thing since sliced bread?
Oh wow. I'm like, what? I could take this question so many different ways.
We've had some really great answers from this. So
I know. I want to think of a creative one. What is the best thing since sliced bread? This is gonna sound so stupid. but I'm going for the like really funny, weird route. So it's kind of a slicer. So that's why I think so we, you know, like we have an air fryer, right? That we love to make French fries in, right? Now we could do it the hard way and slice them with a knife, right? But we bought this French fry slicer that slices them all at once. So then you don't have to cut them individually, and it saves so much time. So yes, it's a slicer, but it slices French fries and it saves you so much time. So I call it a game changer, but I think it's also the best thing since sliced bread.
That is awesome.
Yeah. You probably get some really fun questions from some really fun answers to that.
Yeah, we got some really funny answers. They've been great.
Yeah.
But that's really good, I think. I mean, cutting potatoes is a dangerous job, you know.
It is, yes.
You can lose a finger quite easily, but
yeah.
Well, I don't know. Okay, what's your favorite snack?
Popcorn.
Sweet or salty?
Salty. I love it with like salt, garlic salt, and then drizzled with olive oil, actually.
There you go. That's a good one. I love that. Okay, now this is the funniest question ever, but we've had some amazing answers on this. It's great. So, hypothetically, if we came to you and said we needed to hide a body, do you know a good place?
Do I know a good place? I don't know. I don't think so.
I swear, some people have come up with some of the best answers.
Do they like seriously just come out and say, "Oh yeah, of course I do"?
Yeah. Some of them have that all planned out, and it's like that's really scary.
It's funny because I've lived obviously, and for most of my adult life so far, I've lived in New York or Los Angeles. And since those are two major cities, I feel like there's always people creeping around the corner. So I think that's why nothing comes to mind, because I haven't lived like in the suburbs or someplace like semi-rural for a long, long time. So like, I think it's just, I wouldn't know, because I feel like there'd be somebody around the corner, like spying, you know?
Yeah. I think the biggest cities are definitely harder to hide a body.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, some people have had it thought out. They literally
know
everything.
That makes you a little suspicious, right? Like, or is there something you're not telling me?
It's so very funny. It's so funny. So what have you got planned for the rest of the year? I noticed on your website you've got some tour dates coming up in July. Is that correct?
Yeah, so I have a bunch of dates booked up until I believe it's November, all within this area. So you know, since my son is still really young, I'm trying to kind of stay within the New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania region. But I would love to perform more in like New England next year, maybe down the East Coast, since I spent a lot of time on the West Coast. So looking to really book more dates. I would love to I'm going to continue doing the session work that I've been doing. You know, I have been writing some new material, so I would love to get out something by next year, you know, even if it's a few songs. I may even, you know, I was talking to one of my friends recently who's a musician, and they were talking about how they're going to release like singles more often than just like albums. And I feel like that's what a lot of musicians are doing nowadays that aren't necessarily signed to a label. So I might take that route as well. And kind of, you know, release as they come. So I'm finally getting back into a creative flow again. I feel like there's a lot of people that, you know, they went one or two ways where they either had like songs like flowing out of them like crazy last year, or it was like almost like a complete like writers and like musicians block, which is what I had. I just like, they just were not coming to me. So I'm starting to write more again, which is great. And it's like stuff that, you know, all these things that I like would have never really thought to write about before. So you know, I feel like there's so much going on in our world right now, and like there's so many things that, you know, that you can only say so much, and it's so easier to say through music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's kind of been, you know, some of the songs I've been working on, and I'm really curious to see how they come together and whatnot. So yeah, really between gigging, making music, I have a few other like little things I'm working on that I'm not ready to talk about yet because I'm still like working on them. And you know, it's one of those things where I don't want to talk about it till it's an actual thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm excited for the upcoming months, and you know, I feel like I'm always working on something. So yeah, so it's good.
Perfect. Yeah, I know what you mean about singles. A lot of artists are you know, releasing a song a month or every other month or something like that.
Yeah.
You're not getting as many sort of albums as, you know, as you would have done a few years ago. It's all sort of singles and EPs. So I think that's definitely the way, you know, people are going now, just to get their music out there, to be noticed and moving forward. So
yeah, totally.
That's awesome. Perfect. So yeah, so we look forward to new music. It's going to be great. But yeah, it's annoying fly in the room. It's just like one fly. And it's like,
it's the worst. We've had one. We had one in our apartment for almost like a week, and it was the most frustrating thing because every time you try to get it, you just couldn't.
Yeah, it just flies away, and even the dog runs around chasing him. And I think he's on the
yeah. It's amazing how something so small could be such an annoyance, right?
It's the most annoying thing in the world. Is like.
That's funny.
The annoyance that is flies. The most craziest things in the world. But no, that's fun. But yeah, I mean, if you ever obviously get close to Florida, speak to Dawn. Like, I think she's got a few venues that obviously take on people, so she'll be
I would love that.
But no, this has been fun. It's been
yes, it has been fun.
And so any new music, let us know. And obviously we'll do what we can to promote for you, and any new projects.
Yeah. Always good to have new projects.
Perfect. And also, we have started doing Facebook takeovers. So if you're interested at any time, let us know. We can sign you up, and you can take over our Facebook page and let the world see who Erin McAndrew is.
Yeah, I would love that. That would be so much fun.
Perfect. Well, once again, thank you very much for joining me today. This has been great. And we look forward to hearing from you again.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on.
No worries. See you later, guys.
Bye.
Bye.